The first thing I want to show you is what not to do when you show up to teach your cycling class. You do not want to show up all nervous and, oh my God, this is the first class I'm ever teaching. I'm not sure how I'm going to teach this class. No, you always want to walk into your class confident, knowing that you're going to teach them the greatest indoor cycling class. These are some of the ways people ride, and I always try to show it before class, which you should too, because people will laugh, but then some of them will realize they do it too. So you let the class know, don't ride like this, don't ride like this, all right? Don't have no resistance and come up and start doing one of these, like that's really bad for your knees. Don't come up and start humping the handlebar. Okay, you can do the humping at night. That's what you let the class know, all right? You always want to keep it back. And then there's the people who like to do one leg and they're like, I just don't get that. You always tell the class, keep your knees together and everything's in sync. You're a straight line, you're low. All you have to think about is this. There's no one beat or when people go like this. There is no reason to go like this unless you want to break your teeth. Okay, if you want to do push-ups, you do that on the floor. Because when we're doing this, we're putting our energy up here. Cycling is all about your heart rate and your legs, all right? So if you ever see people doing stuff like that, obviously you don't want to make fun of them, but you want to show people what not to do at the beginning of class so they hopefully don't do it. And again, if you see people riding faster than the beat of the song, all you have to do is go, match the beat, guys, match the beat. Some of the things I always like to say in my classes is when I see people going like this, I go, remember guys, you're not a chicken. And then people kind of know to go like this. And don't ever tell people to relax their shoulders because they'll be like this. And when you say relax your shoulders, they'll go, no, just tell them to bend their elbows. I always say, bend your elbows, bend your elbows. And I always tell the class, don't even grasp the handlebars. You can always keep it loose. And another thing is, I don't always say keep your head up, which is good. But a funny thing to always say is, in the words of Tupac, and those who know will automatically put their head up. And also when I see people riding in the zone, I'll be like, oh, there's some Britney up in here, because these people are in the zone. Or if it's a class that you know really well, and you see guys looking around the room at the girls, I'm always like, hey, stop looking around the room. Nobody wants your phone number. Only the teacher gets phone numbers. I have to say also, when you teach a class, do not be the kind of teachers that I don't like. I don't like the teachers that sit there and clap for the class, telling them 1, 2, 1, 2. We are not in kindergarten. If you're playing the right song, guess what? They can hear that beat. You're playing the wrong song. Is that why you're clapping for them? Do not clap. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, all right? And I'm not one of the teachers who likes to walk around the room. I mean, I don't know, that seems a little weird. I just like to see my whole class. I like to have my iPod here, and I just like to feel the energy of the class and always be laughing. And and on the sprints, when we do sprints and then we slow down, sometimes on the slow down, I like to get somebody's name and be like, hey, John, what's the next sprint you want to do? And let the class be involved. And they can go, I want a 23-second sprint. You're like, fine, because then you're going to get to your sprinting song. And because I've taught for almost 10 years, I can look at people and go, oh, I know what your favorite song is. And then I'll pick that song for that rider. And then when I play it, they're all like, oh yeah, that was my favorite song. So that's another fun thing you can do. I'm just going to get right into it and act as if this is an actual class that I'm going to teach and there's 20 people in front of me. And this is kind of how I usually start all my classes. Hey everybody, my name is Tina and I am going to be teaching your class today. The classes at this gym are 50 minutes, so we will be done in 50 minutes. Let me go over some things in class that we're going to be doing. And so the first thing is when you're cycling, don't cycle like a chicken, because I always see this, and you're not a chicken, okay? So try not to do this, and then try not to do this with your arms stiff and in the shoulders with your stomach pooching out. this is not cycling, guys, all right? So we always want to keep our elbows bent. You want to be like this. You can be here, you can be here, or you can be like this. And try not to cycle with this hard grip and you're going to break something, because there should never be any tension in your arms or your hands, all right, guys? So that's the first thing with your position. And you always want to keep your mouth open because you want to get the breathing going. And I teach by numbers. I teach on a scale of 1 to 10. A 0 is right now, I'm on 0. I have nothing, so it's a 0. I like to teach from the number 5, so once you add a little bit on your road, once I feel the road below me, I consider that a 5. So everybody get on that road that you feel, which I consider a number 5, all right? And then when I say let's add a turn, well, the bikes that have to add a turn, and others add a few gears, then it's going to be like a 6 road, which I consider a slight hill road. Then if I say add some more gears and add a turn, I consider that like a 7. Working hard hill, a little bit more, 7.5, a working super hard hill, and an 8 is when we're out of the saddle and we're going hard, okay? And I never go to a 10, because if it's a 10, you can't cycle and you can't keep your heart rate up. And so those are how I teach my class, with those numbers, but I'll still guide you, because when you hear my songs, it's gonna make you know which beats to be on. So let's get started and let's have a great time. And depending on what you guys give me, if I see that you're intense riders, I can make that ride even harder. Or when I see that you need a break, I can give you a break, all right? And looking at you guys, you seem like you're really awesome. So I'm gonna teach at least a 15-minute to 20-minute warm-up. I mean, the warm-up is always the same. The beginning 5-6 minutes, we're going to be on our warm-up road. But I'm not going to end the class there. Right after that warm-up road, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. And if you're good, I'm going to keep it going. And then between 15 and 20 minutes, when we get to the top of the hill, I want you to go to pass-out mode, and then you're going to earn your break. So we're going to go 15 to 20 minutes off the top for your warm-up, pass-out mode, and then a break. And then after that, we might do a bunch of sprints for maybe 10, 12 minutes. And then for the end of the ride, we might do serious hill intervals. And if there's time and you guys want a Tabata drill, I can throw that in. So that's the plan for the class today. So let's all get focused and let's all start getting on a road that we feel, which is a 5 road, all right? And when you're riding, you always want to feel that road. I see people that have no road and they're bouncing around and there's nothing going on, but they think they're cycling. I always say when I see people doing that, you need to add on the road, okay? When you're cycling, the only thing that moves are your legs. The only thing that moves are your legs. If anything's jiggling, that means you're not on the road. So that's kind of a cue you can always tell people. And so let's get the show started.